Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson. Welcome back for everyone who is already a subscriber to the show. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including coming at you right now. I'm very excited to have a former guest on the show who's ranked by Tapology currently top 15 in all of the United States Northeast at featherweight weight with a record of 4-1, has a big amateur title fight coming up for Stellar Fights just a couple days from now, this weekend. And very excited to have back on the show, Noah Ace Kiszka. Noah, welcome back to the show.
What's up, Luke? It's good to be back.
It's great having you back on the show. The first time I interviewed you, you had won a very impressive amateur fight. I got to interview you just minutes after your fight. Then you came on another time. So I think this makes it three interviews. Really appreciate having you. Obviously, you're in fight week. You just got out of the sauna. For people who are watching this video, the spots on the screen is unfortunately due to you taking the phone into the sauna. So hopefully it'll work itself out. But you're obviously in the weight cut. How are you feeling? You're a couple days away from a big title fight for Stellar Fights.
I feel great, man. A big change in my career happened when I moved back up to featherweight. It definitely is the weight class for me and my body type. And, it was a hard decision to make, but definitely the best one that me and my team could come up with. So I feel great on fight weeks now. You know, the weight cut isn't something that affects my performance or my mental, clarity during the week. So I'm in a good spot right now, man.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And obviously, that goes to your head coach, Rob McCraw, and at Bowerhouse Martial Arts. We've had some Bowerhouse. Mad Cat, man, I'm forgetting his last name, but I remember I watched.
Matthews.
There we go. See, I remembered his fight nickname. This is why we have.
Yeah, that's the
Mad
man.
Cat, Cody Matthews. There it is. Got to see him fight live and get a huge knockout a couple years ago. I've got to watch you fight live. Bowerhouse Martial Arts Academy is a big deal, and I know Rob McCraw pretty well. So it's really great to have you back on. You mentioned trusting your coaches, kind of finding a better, more healthy weight class for you, and now you get this title fight. For those who care about Tapology rankings, I already pointed out that you're top 15 for all of U.S. Northeast. You're actually number 3 in the Commonwealth of Virginia and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, both of them at featherweight, and you're in both of them. So really shows your high level. What does it feel like coming in against Ethan Mercado? 2 questions coming in against Ethan. What do you know about him and kind of what's your mindset against him? And then also, you're going into what I assume would be enemy territory. Not really sure, but I know Stellar Fights is always out of Delaware. So what are your thoughts on that?
So the second question, it's actually not home territory. It's not enemy territory. It's actually, we're both, he's from Pennsylvania, I'm from Maryland, so it's in Delaware. So we're both got to travel a little bit. But as far as Ethan, I know he's a good boxer. He's got some good wrestling. I know he wrestled in high school too. I think he's one of the best amateurs in Pennsylvania, if I'm being, honest. He's good. I'm just better.
And that's the mindset you have. You've only had one loss in your very impressive amateur career, and it was a split decision. I know split decisions can be a mental thing, because obviously one judge thought you had gotten it and your opponent still won, but you've had an incredible run. How do you think you're developing? This is amateur fight number 6, plus you've been training a bunch longer, because there's always fights that fall through that you thought were going to happen that don't make the list. But how do you feel you're developing as a well-rounded martial artist coming into your 6th amateur fight?
I think I'm developing at a really fast pace. I think I've always been developing at a really fast pace. I've always learned things super fast. I've always been able to apply things super fast. I think the difference is now I'm just becoming more mature with my decision making when I'm fighting, and more mature in living the lifestyle as a whole. This isn't a hobby for me. This is something that I do twice a day, every single day. I help teach the kids class here. Like mixed martial arts is my life. So I think as long as I just stay the path, all of my goals will just keep getting knocked off one by one.
I mean, that's the great mindset for people watching this that are an up and coming fighter. That's the type of mindset to have, right? It's the confidence. It's the confidence in your skills and your ability, and also the dedication, the willingness to work hard. There always has to be that balance between your desire to push yourself and also be confident in the skills that you have. Speaking of confidence, do you come in to this fight with a mindset of wanting to win a certain way? Do you have a prediction? Are you going to do the Mystic Mac when Conor McGregor was predicting, or are you more the type of fighter that just wants to show off your skills? What are your thoughts as far as the performance?
Personally, as a fighter, I'm just one that wants to show off my skills. I think I'm super sharp, and as long as I show up, any fight I show up in is a fight that I'm more than likely going to win in. And I think a lot of people saw that with Gabe when I showed up, and he definitely was a little bit more experienced than me, had a couple more fights than me, older, bigger, but I hung in there the whole time, and I think everyone was able to see that. But as far as this fight, man, I just everyone knows that I can be an exciting fighter, and you never know what's gonna happen when I go out there. I may go out there and try to grapple you. I may go out there and try to knock your head off. So um, I'm just gonna show everyone what a complete fighter I can be, given the circumstances, whatever pops up.
Yeah, great. Again, great mindset to have. Your fight versus Gabe. He's now not only was he undefeated in his amateur career and obviously had several more fights than you, but now he's 1-0 as a pro. And I bring this up a lot on this fight. When you fight somebody, if you win, which you've won a lot, you still want your opponent to go on and have a good career because it makes your win against them better. More valuable. And same thing for a loss. You picked up a split decision loss against a guy who beat everybody else in amateur and now is undefeated as a pro. And I think as Gabe Tag You're It, has whatever career he has, that probably makes your loss against him, look even more impressive. The fact that it was a split decision. And as you continue to develop, who knows? We've seen people rematch at any level. You never know what can happen down the road. But I was caged up. It was a great fight. And obviously, you learned a lot from it.
Yeah, and definitely want to make sure I say a lot of respect to Gabe. He's wasn't from the Pittsburgh area, came all the way from the Midwest for a better fight. For a fight that would challenge him. I was that fight. It went his way that night, and he was the better guy that night. So, Gabe, if you're listening to this, respect my bro. I know we've talked since, but yeah, just respect.
Well, and I think that's a great mindset to have. You learned a lot. This Stellar Fight 64 fight coming up on Saturday, November 2nd is a big, big fight. I know I talked to your head coach, Rob, a little bit. He's super excited about you. And I think, that's what really matters. What happens in the cage against Ethan Mercado is really what's gonna dictate what's next for you. Obviously, I want to have you back on after you get the belt. And then we'll talk about kind of what's next for you. But one fight at a time, always, even though the interviewer in me wants to jump ahead. Thanks so much. For those that don't know, I want to give a special thanks to Noah. He's in his weight cut. He was just in Asana. He's a couple days away from weigh-in. He's got a fight Saturday, and yet he was willing to come on the show. So I really appreciate that. It means the world for you to jump on and give everybody an update on your upcoming title fight for Stellar Fights. Thanks again for coming on. Everybody should try to watch it. I know on your Facebook you're giving information, so people need to go to your Facebook. But if they don't on Facebook, how can they support you, particularly through pay-per-view?
So there's a link in my bio. Actually, it's my QR code. You can purchase tickets directly from that link, and it will go to me. As far as that, though, the ticket sales do end tomorrow night. So if you plan on supporting me and buying with my QR code, definitely get it in before tomorrow night. And just before I leave, I just wanted to give a special thank you to all my coaches and teammates at Bowerhouse MMA. You guys are so special to me. You have no idea. This is truly my home, and I can't wait to bring a belt back to this place.
Well, that's a great way to end it. I really appreciate you taking time to come on. Wonderful shout outs. Always great catching up with you. Can't wait to have you back on the show with a belt over your shoulder, and I can call you champ at that point. Thanks so much for coming on. Special guest, couple days away from a big fight for him for Stellar Fights, Noah, the Ace Kiszka, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, Luke. Have a good night, man.
You got it, brother.